I appreciate it, Coach Jay. You guys are fortunate, right? Not everyone gets coaches that are as knowledgeable and committed, right, and passionate, right? Some of us walk out onto the field and you got the coach who's there just because he doesn't have anything else to do. So you guys should be super blessed that you get to learn the game from not only an All-American, but somebody who like lives and breathes to teach you guys this game. It's super fun, and more importantly, as a coach, we get an opportunity to teach you about life through the game, right? A little bit about me. I just turned 29. I'm from Montgomery County, Maryland, so like right outside Bethesda. Youngest of 6, came into a good family, right? Wasn't really worried about money growing up, and that allowed me to just exist, right? I was just a kid that just existed because I didn't have to get a job early. I didn't have to plug into life earlier than some of you guys have to do, right? But there was this drive in me of, man, I want something for me, right? Dad's got this, and watching Dad was amazing. My dad was the only one who was at every single game, right? I wrestled, I played lacrosse, I played football, I played basketball, across the board, right? And he was at everything. And he was on his phone, walking up and down the sidelines, making business calls, providing for 6 kids, right? And being an entrepreneur. So I knew at a young age that was what I wanted to do. I just didn't know how I was gonna do it. And I think that that's part of life, is like, the how will reveal itself. You just gotta figure out what you wanna do, right? And that is on the lacrosse field, and that is in the classroom, and that is in your relationship. You guys got girls coming into your life. Like, what do you want out of it? And I think that that's not a question a lot of young men are asking themselves, is like, why am I engaging in this? Why do I show up on the lacrosse field? Why do I show up in the classroom? Is there a reason for it, right? Or am I just doing it because I was told to do it? Or am I just doing it because everybody else is doing it, right? The success of an entrepreneur is, I look at what everyone else is doing and I go in the opposite direction. That's how you become successful, right? And there's a few of us, your coach being one of them, who have grabbed a hold of success principles, and you can follow those people. But the majority of people are walking in the wrong direction, right? So what I was able to create is a global sustainability company called WaveMakers, right? We're heavily focused on the health of the human body through effective hydration. Not a lot of people are educated on what's in tap water and what's in bottled water. It's water. And the reality of the situation is that the average American drinks 4 times as much soda as they do water right now. Raise your hand if you haven't had any water today. Be honest. Good. Hydrated group, right? That never happens. There's always one person who's like, yeah, bro, I just drink Mountain Dew. Or like, yeah, Blue Powerade. McDonald's Blue Powerade. That's where I'm at in life, right? But when you can begin to identify some concepts about your body, especially at a young age, it's gonna set you up for success in everything that you're doing, right? I've spent my whole life chasing wealth, and then I got it and I realized my body could be functioning better, right? When I view the word wealth now, I think about physical health. The amount of people who have money in the bank but can't get off the couch, or have diabetes, or who have asthma, or who are like 5-10 years away from kicking the bucket. Like, it's important to plug into these concepts now, right? So WaveMakers, we step in, we educate you on proper hydration, right? And then we take our revenue and we go take care of the fact that 1/3 of the world doesn't have access to clean water, right? We go build wells, we do filtration in Africa, Uganda, El Salvador, right? And different stuffs like that. I'm super excited to partner with you guys and get you guys Kangen water. It is like next level, right? You're gonna see it on the sidelines. You're gonna see WaveMakers setting up shop and having some good stuff for you guys, and just plug in. I'm doing the heavy lifting. I'm getting you guys the water, right? This water is not cheap, right? But it's gonna be here available to you, and start plugging in. And you're gonna feel the difference. And once you start feeling the difference, I want you to really consciously take a look at, am I doing what's convenient with my diet, or am I doing what's right for my diet, right? Are we on the McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell? Taco Bell, by the way, has the best quesadillas, if you're not aware. The steak quesadilla from Taco Bell is one of the greatest things you'll ever consume, right? But is that what my body wants? And is that what I should be eating, right? I'm about 85% plant-based, right? And I'm in the best shape of my life at 29. I was an athlete my entire life, played college lacrosse, And I always felt like I could have been something way better. And then I look at it and it was, man, my conditioning was garbage. Like, bro, like I was getting into some stuff that I should not have been getting into because I was hanging around some people that I should not have been hanging around with. Never drank any water, never ran on my own time, never lifted outside of team lifts, right? And then what was the product? The product was I was decent because I ran a 4.5, 4.4 on a good day, right? I was faster than everybody on the field. So I competed and I was good, but I wasn't great, right? And so what I want to express to you guys while I have this time, while I have some of your attention, is that I wish that somebody cared enough like me and like Coach Jay to just step in front of me much younger and tell me a couple success principles that would have saved me so much time, right? And some of you are gonna plug in to the next 10 minutes and some of you are already checked out, and that's okay. You got a lot of learning to do, all of you. You're gonna stumble, you're gonna fall, life is gonna smack you across the face and you're gonna have to deal with that, right? And you pick yourself back up and you keep on going. But right now, how old are you?
16.
How old are you?
17.
How old are you?
17.
Perfect. 16, 17 is like prime time. These success principles that I'm about to dish out to you, if you can clock in for 10 minutes and if you can plug in to some of the stuff that I'm going to educate you on right now, and more importantly, knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is power. When you can learn and apply, that is when you become powerful, right? So a couple principles, right? Number one, health is wealth. If you're not taking care of your body, you're already setting yourself up for failure in the classroom, in your businesses, in your relationships, in your work ethic on the field. If you're not getting enough water and enough sleep on a daily basis and putting the right things into your body, guess what your machine is gonna start doing? Failing. Your brain is 80% water. You know why you can't concentrate? It's not that you have ADHD, right? It might be because you have ADHD, but it's also because your brain is severely dehydrated. So constantly pumping water in. That's the first principle that I can tell you. It's number one, right? The second one, take this and put it in the back of your head. 80% of getting where you want to be is knowing exactly where you want to be, right? Who wants to be an All-American? Cool. You got to know where you want to be. My father is wildly successful and he told me the end. What does the end look like? And then you build milestones to get there, right? But you got to have the end in mind or you got nothing to fight for. You got nothing to pull you out of bed. Yeah, like you will continue to sleep because it's just another day. I'm just existing, right? The reason why you don't pop up and fire out of bed and start hustling is because you have not created a why big enough, something that you're fighting that's big enough. If you want a full ride for college, it's gonna take a 4.0. If you want a 4.0, it's gonna take those extra hours, right? If you're willing to put in those extra hours, then you have a chance at achieving your goals. If you wanna be an All-American, it's gonna take wall ball. There's no getting around it. It's gonna take wall ball. It's gonna take conditioning on your own, right? This is the classroom. The majority of education happens outside of the classroom. Welcome to the party, fellas. And guess what? 97%, they fall into the same routine of just average. 97% of people walking the planet are just average. If you're somebody in this group who like, I got it, man, something's bigger. I'm not average. I was blessed. God gave me gifts. I'm like the fastest kid on every field I step on, right? My natural ability to switch hands is just way better than everyone else's, right? You take the gifts that God gave you and you focus on them and you develop them, right? My next concept, if you're willing to listen, bring your ceiling to your floor every day. I am elevating every single day. I have the end in mind, so naturally I'm walking in the right direction. I'm a hobbit by nature, right? If you couldn't tell, this is me, right? They wanted to put me in a suit. They wanted me to be this $100 million kid, and they wanted me to walk into these offices, and I'm like, bro, you got me twisted. This is who I am. I'll show up to business meetings in sweatpants. because that's also who I am, right? But 80% of getting where you want to be is knowing where you want to be. Since I know where I want to be, I'm walking this way. I'm walking in the right direction, right? And it doesn't matter how long it takes me to get there because I'm going there anyway, right? On a daily basis, bring your ceiling to your floor. Who's ever heard of that concept? What's your name? Yeah.
My name's Lucas.
Lucas. Bring your ceiling to your floor. What does that mean to you? Just shoot from the hip. What does it mean?
Just like try your hardest every day.
Try your hardest every day. And then
Try even harder.
And then the next day, your peak of the day before, when you got to your place of like, wow, I just grew, that becomes your new standard, right? Every day I'm pushing myself and pushing myself and pushing myself. And then I thank God for the blessings that he gave me that day. I go to sleep, I wake up the next day and thank God for another opportunity to continue to grow. And where I ended the last day is now where I start. That is my new standard of operating, right? And you build and you compound. You find yourself elevating on a whole nother level, right? You find yourself taking what it takes people 10 years to do. I just did it in 2, right? And you begin to grow. Right? And the last thing I'm going to leave you with, fellas, and this is arguably the most important thing I could ever tell you. I may be a part of your life in the future. You may never see me again, ever, right? But if there's one thing that you're going to learn from me, it's going to be this, is that from Aristotle to Napoleon Hill to Elon Musk to unbelievably successful men that have walked this earth, they disagree about almost everything. They have a couple principles that they agree on, but the majority of it, they disagree about all of it. The one concept that all of them are in complete congruency on is that your thoughts dictate who you are as a person. What you constantly think about is a direct reflection of who you are. Are you the crease attackman who is constantly thinking, I'm going to get stuffed by the goalie? Right? Are you the defenseman who is constantly thinking, I'm about to get toasted? Right? Or are you the kid who, like, confidence, affirmations? I wake up on a daily basis and I tell myself a couple things. I look at myself in the mirror and the first thing I say is, I love you. Right? Because if I don't love me, no one else will love me. Right? And then I say, Michael, you are a great public speaker. You are a wildly successful businessman. Michael, you are going to solve the world's water problems. Right? You are great. You are powerful. You are compassionate. You are loving. You are a child of God. Right? And then I approach my day. And what's going on in my head is literally reflecting in everything that I do. I just closed the deal. I'm bringing a $50 million company to the US and I'm at the head of all of it. The company is projected to go to $20 billion in the next 5 years. And I'm at the head of the US. I'm manifesting my own reality at 29. And do you know why? It's because I think that I can change the world. I'm that crazy, right? I think that I can be great. I think that I can get a 4.0. I think that I can score 5 goals this game. I think that I can show up for my family in a big way. I think that I can be a great lover to this young girl who just stepped into my life. I think that I can be a great son to my mother who is probably given the shirt off of her back to make sure that you have everything that you have, or your father. But it's gotta be in your head, right? There's a quote that I live by: the guy who thinks he can and the guy who thinks he can't are both usually right. And that's the success principle. If you're constantly doubting yourself, guess what? You're probably living in failure. You need to shift that. And it happens on a daily basis. The mindset that you choose to plug into from here on out is going to dictate who you become, right? And you absolutely have control over that. Welcome to free will. Life is a choice. You can either choose to engage or you can choose to clock out. You can either choose to be great or you can grab the blunt and go sit on the couch with the rest of your friends. The choice is yours, you know what I'm saying? But like the amount of hands, raise them again. Who wants to be an All-American? That's a lot of freaking hands. It takes a daily choice to clock in to the stuff that's gonna materialize into being an All-American, right? And most importantly, daily consistent effort over time produces results. We don't jump across the ocean. We show up every single day and we put in that ground ball work. We put in that shot work. We put in that transition work. We put in that breakdown, defense from the inside out, like communication. They're all success principles, but it's daily. You don't wake up one day and you're like, boom, I want to be an All-American, I'm an All-American. No, it is on a daily basis, every single practice, I'm showing up. Every single day, I'm bringing my ceiling to my floor. I have fallen in love with myself. I have bought in on the end goal of where I'm trying to get to, and every single day, my thoughts are thinking nothing other than I can achieve that, I can achieve that, I will achieve that, I am great, I am an All-American. If I were you, I would write on my mirror, I am an All-American, and I would say it every single day. I am an All-American, I am an All-American. And then you bring that effort and you clock into the physical world, right? Me personally, I use my spirit, I use my faith to drive my emotions and my mindset. And then I use my mindset to drive my body. The rest of the world lets their body dictate what they do. They're tired, go to sleep. If life is better in your dreams, then stay asleep, stay down, right? Get out of the way for everyone else who is fighting for more, right? But if you can clock in, right now at 16, things become fun. I didn't clock in till I was 26. I was 26. I was living in Vail, Colorado out of the back of my truck, right? Snowboarding every day, bartending. I was a complete POS, right? True ski bum. And then I just decided that like, if I wanted things to change, I needed to change. So I started clocking in every single day. I started bringing my ceiling to my floor. I started getting around the right people. Not the people who I laugh with, not the people that I enjoy, but the people who are ahead of me in life so I could learn from them and be around them, right? And from 26 to 29, my financial situation flipped on its head, and now I'm one of the most successful people that I know, right? And I became the person that I wanted to learn from. But it started with a choice, right? So that's what I got for you fellas. Some of you grabbed it and some of you are gonna apply it, and the rest of you, I'll be praying for you, right? God's gonna work on you in his own time. But I appreciate your time. Coach Jay, let's bring it up. And I'm excited to see what you boys got. I'm excited to see what you boys got on this field right now.
All right, listen, we'll go stretch, then we'll go straight into West Jenny, offense versus D, and then we'll go straight into build-ups. Hey, head, heart, hustle, get after it today. Get after it, 1 on 3.
Come on, bring it in. Bring it, hold on, come on, get in here, get in here, get in here, get in here. Go ahead, coach.
Head, heart, hustle, 1 play at a time, 1 day at a time, 1 on 3. 1, 2, 3, 1! Let's go, boys.